Psalm 85 is a prayer for restoration and revival attributed to the sons of Korah. The psalm begins with a reflection on God's past favor and forgiveness, expressing gratitude for his restoration of Jacob and the forgiveness of Israel's sins. The psalmist recalls how God turned away his wrath and ceased his fierce anger, bringing about a time of refreshing and renewal for his people. This acknowledgement of God's past faithfulness sets the tone for the psalmist's plea for similar restoration in the present. The psalmist then turns to a prayer for God to revive his people once again. He appeals to God's steadfast love and faithfulness, asking him to restore his salvation and grant his people his righteousness. The psalmist expresses a longing for God's glory to dwell in the land once more, bringing about a time of peace and prosperity. This prayer reflects a deep yearning for spiritual renewal and a return to God's presence among his people. In the midst of this prayer for revival, the psalmist reflects on the importance of listening to God's voice and turning away from sin. He urges the people to listen to what God is saying and to not return to their folly, emphasizing the need for repentance and obedience. The psalmist acknowledges that God's salvation is near to those who fear him, leading to a restoration of his glory in the land. The psalm concludes with a declaration of hope and trust in God's faithfulness. The psalmist expresses confidence that God's salvation is indeed near to those who fear him, bringing about a time of abundance and blessing. He resolves to listen to what God will say and to follow his ways, trusting that his salvation and glory will once again be revealed among his people. Psalm 85 serves as a prayer for spiritual renewal and a reaffirmation of trust in God's faithfulness to restore his people and bring about his purposes in the land. Let's now read Psalms chapter 85. To the chief musician, a psalm for the sons of Korah. Lord, thou hast been favorable unto thy land, thou hast brought back the captivity of Jacob. Thou hast forgiven the iniquity of thy people, thou hast covered all their sin. Selah. Thou hast taken away all thy wrath, thou hast turned thyself from the fierceness of thine anger. Turn us, O God of our salvation, and cause thine anger toward us to cease. Wilt thou be angry with us forever? Wilt thou draw out thine anger to all generations? Wilt thou not revive us again, that thy people may rejoice in thee? Show us thy mercy, O Lord, and grant us thy salvation. I will hear what God the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace unto his people, and to his saints, but let them not turn again to folly. Surely his salvation is nigh them that fear him, that glory may dwell in our land. Mercy and truth are met together, righteousness and peace have kissed each other. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. Yea, the Lord shall give that which is good, and our land shall yield her increase. Righteousness shall go before him, and shall set us in the way of his steps. This ends our reading of Psalms chapter 85.